All right, welcome to What the Tech, the show where we slice right through the tech hype to give you the hard-hitting truth. Today, we're diving into a story that is absolutely everywhere right now. Young people are ditching their coding boot camps for actual tool belts, trying to outrun the AI job apocalypse. But is this a brilliant career move, or is it just a short-term fix? Let's get into it.
So I want you to meet Ellen LaHaye. She's 24, she's got a degree in earth science from a great school, UC Santa Barbara, and now she's an apprentice welder. And she's not alone. She's part of this huge wave of Gen Z folks, a lot of them with four-year degrees, who are looking at the skilled trades and seeing the one thing the office world just can't seem to promise anymore, real security. Her logic is simple, and you kind of can't argue with it. Everyone needs a welder.
And look, it's not just about job security. It's about some serious money. Look at this number, $91 an hour. That's the starting pay for a union electrician fresh out of their apprenticeship in Silicon Valley. Do the math. That's almost $190,000 a year. And get this, it often comes with little to no college debt, a rock-solid pension, and full medical. Yeah, a number like that, it makes you rethink things, doesn't it?
So this really is the big question we're tackling. Is this it? Is this the new American dream? Is this the ultimate life hack for a generation that's staring down insane student loans on one side and the very real threat of AI taking their white-collar job on the other? Is the yellow brick road now paved with concrete and wired for electricity?
I mean, on the surface, the story is just perfect, right? You get to build real things with your hands, make an incredible living, you don't start your life in a mountain of debt, and you have a union watching your back. It sounds like the most bulletproof career you could possibly find. But you know our motto here at What the Tech, if a story sounds that simple, it almost never is.
So what is really going on here? What's the real reason for this massive shift? And why is it happening right now with this much urgency? Well, the answer comes down to two letters, AI. This threat isn't some far-off idea anymore. It is showing up big time in the actual data.
Just take a look at these numbers from the Federal Reserve. The so-called safe degrees we've all been told to get for the last 20 years, computer engineering, computer science, their recent grad unemployment rates are over 6, even 7%. Now, look all the way to the right. Construction services, 0.7%. That isn't just a small gap, my friends. That is a chasm. The on-ramp for white-collar jobs is crumbling.
And if that data doesn't get your attention, this quote absolutely should. This is the heart of the fear that's driving everything. This isn't some sci-fi author talking. This is the CEO of Anthropic, one of the biggest AI companies on the planet, saying that half of all entry-level white-collar jobs could just disappear in the next 5 years. You know, when the people literally building the technology are sounding alarms that loud, you start looking for an exit.
Okay, so we've laid out the hype. We understand the fear. But now it's time for the hard truth. This is where we do what we do best. We peel back the layers of this feel-good story and see what's really going on underneath. Let's talk about the red flags that nobody seems to be mentioning.
Red flag number 1. This safety net has a huge hole in it. The whole idea that the trades are some kind of AI-proof utopia is a flat-out myth. It's dangerous. You've got cobots or collaborative robots that are already being trained to mimic human welding. AI is already being used to plan out complex electrical grids. The front line of automation didn't vanish, it just moved to a different battlefield.
Okay, red flag number 2. You think you can just waltz into one of these high-paying gigs? Think again. The gates are slamming shut. That pipe fitters union paying $80 an hour, it accepts just 10% of its applicants. And those electricians making $91, a 5% acceptance rate. That's harder to get into than some Ivy League schools. These jobs are becoming just as competitive as the corporate roles people are running from.
And red flag number 3, and this one is a biggie. This whole thing is basically a zip code lottery. Those unbelievable salaries we're talking about, they are almost exclusively a Bay Area thing. They only exist because of a perfect storm of an insanely high cost of living, a ton of specialized industry, and a long history of powerful unions. That reality just doesn't exist for most of the country. And this quote right here, from Robert Chan at the Electrical Training Alliance, it just perfectly captures the deep irony of this entire situation. A lot of these amazing trade jobs right now are to build the physical infrastructure for AI, the data centers. They are, literally, with their own hands, building the technology that threatens to make countless jobs obsolete, maybe even their own.
So, after hearing all those red flags, you might be thinking, okay, so it's a trap, right? Well, not quite. The smart way to think about this isn't as a permanent safe house, but more like a strategic head start.
It's like moving to higher ground to buy yourself some time while the automation floodwaters rise.
So let's put this on a timeline, right? For the next 5 years or so, yeah, the trades are an absolutely fantastic high-return move. Human skill is still king. Then, in that 5 to 15-year window, you'll see automation take over the repetitive stuff, and humans will have to shift to more complex, custom projects. But longer term, we're talking more than 15 years out, all bets are off. No sector is truly safe. The entire game changes.
Which brings us to the real, honest-to-God takeaway from this whole thing. If every single job is eventually on the chopping block, what's the actual winning move? What is the core lesson that we're supposed to learn from this massive shift?
First things first, let's just be crystal clear about something. The goal cannot be to find an AI-proof job anymore. That's a fool's errand. That whole idea is dead. It doesn't matter if you're writing code or welding pipe. The concept of a single, stable career that's completely safe from technology, well, that ship has sailed, sunk, and is now a coral reef.
And that leads us to the real solution. It's not about the job you pick, it's about the mindset you build. The only thing that is truly AI-proof is your ability to adapt, your willingness to learn new things, and your agility to pivot when you have to. The trades might buy you a 10 or 15-year head start. The real game is what you do with that time.
So, in the end, we're all asking the wrong question. The choice isn't really between a laptop and a wrench. The future belongs to the fastest learners, period. So the real question you should be asking yourself is not what job is safe, it's how fast can I learn? How are you preparing for a world where your most valuable skill isn't what you know today, but how quickly you can learn something new tomorrow?